They said it would last forever. The Roman Empire, a name that still echoes through time. It was more than a place. It was an idea of order, an idea of power. For 1,000 years it stood as a giant, its shadow stretching from the misty shores of Britain all the way to the sun-scorched sands of Egypt. Its legions were the stuff of legend, their discipline unmatched. Its roads were veins of stone, trade, soldiers, laws. The eagle was its symbol, a sign of strength that soared above all others. Rome was the center of the universe. But giants can fall, and when they do, the ground shakes for centuries. The trouble began at the top, in the heart of Rome, in the emperor's palace. In its golden age, Rome was blessed with strong, capable leaders who ruled for decades. But that stability faded. The 3rd century brought what is known as the crisis. It was a time of chaos. Emperors came and went like seasons. Many were soldiers, not statesmen. They seized power with the sword and often died by it. In one 50-year span, more than 20 men claimed the title of emperor, and nearly all of them met a violent end. This constant turnover created a vacuum of leadership. The government became paralyzed, unable to make long-term plans or enforce its own laws. This political rot created a deep sense of uncertainty. How could a farmer in Gaul or a merchant in Syria trust the system when the man in charge might be gone tomorrow? The empire had grown too large, too complex to be run by a government in constant turmoil. To manage the vast territory, the Emperor Diocletian split the empire into 2 halves, east, west. Each had its own ruler. It was practical at first, but over time the halves drifted apart into different worlds. At the same time, the empire's wallet was growing thin. Running a world-spanning state is expensive. You have to pay the soldiers, you have to build the roads, you have to feed the people in the cities. Rome's wealth came from conquest and new riches. When expansion stopped, the flow of treasure stopped too. Wars continued, mostly defensive, bringing no plunder. The Roman legion was once the most feared fighting force on earth. The image of its disciplined soldiers, marching in perfect formation behind the silver eagle, was a symbol of Rome's absolute power. But over the centuries, this legendary army began to change. In the early days, the legions were filled with Roman citizens, men who owned land and fought with a deep sense of patriotic duty, defending their homes, their families, and their way of life. Fewer Roman citizens were willing to endure the long and brutal life of a soldier. The state needed more men, and it began to look outside its own borders, hiring soldiers from the very barbarian tribes it often fought against: Goths, Franks, Vandals. These mercenaries were often skilled and ferocious warriors, but their loyalty was not always to the idea of Rome. It was to their commander, and more importantly, to their pay. The army became less of a national institution and more of a collection of private militias. These generals could make or break emperors. Sometimes they even marched on Rome itself, leading to devastating civil wars. The very shield meant to protect the empire was turned inward, causing deep and bloody wounds. The spirit of the army changed. The old discipline eroded. Soldiers settled with families near forts, more militia than mobile force. Armor lightened. Drills were neglected. The Roman army was still formidable but no longer invincible. It had become a brittle shield. The Roman world was not an empty one. Beyond its long frontiers lived hundreds of tribes and peoples. The Romans called them barbarians. These were complex societies with leaders and ambitions. Rome managed them through diplomacy, through trade, and through outright military force. Some were allies, many served in the Roman army, others were enemies. But in the 4th and 5th centuries, balance shattered. A new force emerged, the Huns, ferocious nomadic horsemen. Their westward push set off a domino effect. The Goths, driven from the Danube frontier, arrived in 376, men, women, children, not as invaders, but as desperate refugees seeking safety. The end did not come with a single final battle. It came with a quiet whimper. For decades after the sack, the West was a shadow of itself. Emperors as powerless puppets controlled by barbarian generals. The provinces were lost. Britain abandoned. Gaul, Spain, North Africa, Gothic kings, Vandal kings, Frankish kings, an empire in name only, like a hollowed-out tree, still standing, dead within. waiting for a final push. That push came in 476. A boy, Romulus Augustulus, sat on the throne. Odoacer, a Germanic commander, ended the pretense. He deposed the boy but claimed no crown, sending the diadem, the purple robe, the scepter to Constantinople. The message was clear: no need for an emperor in the West. And just like that, without a great last stand, the Western Roman Empire ceased to exist. So, what is the one clear lesson from this long, slow collapse? Great and powerful things are rarely destroyed from the outside alone. They rot from within first. Rome did not fall simply because of barbarian invasions. Its politics broke. Its economy failed its people. Its army lost loyalty and purpose. Society split. A vast gap. A loss of shared trust.